Going on, everybody? Making sure my stream is going. Okay. See if my stream's coming up, if you guys can see me. Give me a comment here on the Facebook group here. We'll see if we can start seeing some comments before we get started here. Let some people drip in. Check. See, we got one person here on the stream. Just going to wait a couple seconds here for some more folks to drip in before we get started. We're talking about how to land paid work with fitness brands today, so it should be a really fun session. Just trying to load up all my Facebook pages and see if we're broadcasting here. Check. Okay. Okay. Well, I think we're going to go ahead and get started here. For everybody that's watching this, my name is Ryan Snod. It rhymes with odd. I am the admin and creator of the Freelance Videographer Community Facebook group. So if you're watching in that, welcome. We're also streaming into the content creator community and the how to sell video production services community. So really excited today to talk about how to sell video production and specifically how to land work with fitness brands. So large national fitness brands is what we're going to be trying to cover today. So again, if you're hopping in on the stream here, drop a comment. Let us know where you're tuning in from and what questions you have. We're trying to get things situated here with the stream and make sure that everybody can see us in all three streams. So I apologize for any delay here. We're just trying to make sure that everything's going properly. Let me just send a quick message to our team here. Right, double checking here. And I know there is a little bit of a lag, so we will get going here shortly. Okay, I think I can see it coming up here. So again, if you're seeing me, drop a comment, let me know. We'll try and answer any questions we have along the way here and answer any of your questions here at the end. So real quick, I just wanted to kind of touch a little bit on who I am, like what kind of makes me qualified to talk a little bit about this. So like I mentioned, my name is Ryan. I own a video production business here in central Iowa called Snod Media Group, specializing in the health and fitness industry. So I shoot a lot with gyms, fitness brands, sports hype videos, stuff like that. So that's kind of my background and stuff like that. So today I wanted to do a deal breakdown for you guys and show how I landed Schutt Sports, which is a large, one of the largest football helmet manufacturers in the country, and how I did it just by a simple reach out process that I'm going to teach you guys how to do today. You can borrow these tactics for yourself when you're trying to land fitness brands, and I think this niche is just super interesting. So we're going to talk about that today. I'm also going to talk about some of the things we're doing with programming to try and teach this more, because I think this niche is a super awesome niche to get into. So we're going to try to get that going as well, and then answer any of your questions at the end and try and be as helpful as we can to talk about health and fitness videos today. So we're going to get going here. Again, if you have any questions, drop them here. I'm trying to double check all my stuff here to make sure that we are streaming, because I'm not seeing any comments yet. So if you are seeing me, drop a comment and say you can hear and see me. That'd be great to know before we get started here, just to make sure that everybody can hear and see me all right. I see we got some stuff, some activity going here. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and get started here. Again, any questions, drop in the comments and we'll get to them at the end. But really, what I wanted to explain here is the simple process that I used to land Schutt Sports, which is a football manufacturer, football helmet manufacturer here in America. So my process that I went through with this is I actually use a templated prospecting sheet that I go through, and I try and find clients that I'd love to work with, ideal dream clients. And the approach that I take to this is that I'll go on their website and I'll try and find things that I think I could fill with video. So whether it's a video business card, sales video, testimonial video, product release promotion, whatever it is. But in their case, they weren't using any video at all. And they're such a large company, and I thought this would be a great opportunity. So for me, since I shoot a lot of fitness already, I had a whole backlog of content that I'd shot for hype videos for other people out there. So for sports teams and stuff like that, that were already wearing their products. So what I did was I put all that stuff into a folder, and I just looked up the company and I called the company and I asked for the marketing department. So when they said, hey, what I said, hey, this is Ryan Snob with Snob Media Group. I'm looking for the marketing department. They asked me, well, who are you looking for specifically? So I'd done some research on the website to see who the person was and I needed to contact, and got on the phone with them. And basically what I said was, introduced myself, told them that I'm a fitness videographer here in Iowa. And I had a bunch of stock footage of their product being used. So I had a bunch of football promotional stuff of people hitting helmets together and kind of some dramatic stuff with water and smoke and things like that that I thought could be helpful. So I offered to send them these clips for free, just because I thought it'd be a helpful thing, and didn't really have any like expectations with it. So when I did that, I ended up reaching out to them. They actually answered the phone. We talked for a little bit. They said this was very helpful, and I got their email. And I said, hey, can I send this stuff to you via email? So I got their email, sent it over to them, and got some back and forth going with them. And then after I sent them the clips, they liked the clips so much that they were asking me, hey, could you send us some more stuff? Or can we talk more about doing a specific video for Schutt so we could actually like spread the love a little bit here? So that's kind of when things started to change. So I said, well, yeah, let's do that. So what they did was they sent me a box of gear. So a helmet, shoulder pads, pants, gloves, like probably like $3,000 worth of football gear in a huge box, and just mailed it to me and said, create something dope. We'll give you like a week or two to do this, and then send it back to us and show us what you come up with. So I have a lot of people that I tell this story to, and they don't fully trust that this is a good way to do it, like doing kind of a spec video or showing your worth and what you can do. And that's really where I think a lot of people can benefit from it, no matter what level you're at, whether you're just a beginner, intermediate, or if you're like a really good seasoned pro. We want to try and get this stuff out to people and make sure that they are understanding that we have skill and that we can do this. So I took this as a challenge. I went through and tried to identify some things that I could do for them. So they sent me this box of gear. I was trying to source like talent. I was just going to pay out of pocket to get somebody to do this for me. And it was like really cold that month. It was in the middle of January. It was like freezing cold here, like negative 20 degrees. We couldn't get out on the field. We couldn't do anything. So what I did was I actually shot the video of myself. I wore all the gear. I was the talent, and I shot the video of it, and put this video together and send it to them. So I actually have it queued up here. I will play it for you guys so you can see it. But again, this was no budget. I shot this in my garage of myself, and I turned this video around in about 48 hours. So here's the video that I did, and we'll talk about it after I show it to you. All right. So that was the video that I shot. I put that together and I sent it to their marketing team. And it was kind of crazy because I sent it to them and they were just kind of blown away. They're like, whoa, this is pretty cool. Like, you did all this with no direction. We literally sent you a box of product and you created this in like 48 hours. What could happen if we did something else? Like if we paid you or hired talent or had a script and actually like put some thought behind this, what could happen? So that's when it started us down the path of trying to, figure out if we should work together. So this is kind of my audition tape, if you will. And I really encourage people to do this type of approach if you're trying to work with a large brand and you have no reputability, you have no like proof of concept yet, because it will play out for you if you find the right people that want to see your work and they want to challenge you to do this stuff. So after I did that, they were talking with me more. I was going back and forth on this video, just kind of talking more and more. And then that's when the marketing team got me in touch with their director of marketing, who used to work for Adidas. He has a lot of experience and he's a hard guy to get some time with. So we ended up doing that and talking, and then we got some money put aside for this project. We scripted out a video, and their big thing that they really wanted to push was this new helmet release that they're doing in the fall for the football program. So it's called the F7 helmet. They were releasing this, and like we really need some like dope videos that appeal to like high school age athletes, something fast hitting. We have no time for this. Can you completely just take this off our plate, shoot it, script it, edit it, send it to us, and we'll see what's going on with it. So that's really when it came to the paid gig that I wanted to talk about more, which was the helmet promotion that came from doing this spec video. So it was really cool. I'll show it to you now. What we did was, again, we were going to do this on a field, but people were not enjoying the cold. Again, it was like negative 20 degrees the entire time that we were doing this. So it was very interesting, like how that all came about. Let me just close this out here and we'll play this.
We understand what it takes to pay the price with sweat equity and pain, to take the hits, give the hits, and keep getting up. Your gear needs to work as hard as you do. So when the pressure is on, shut out the noise.
Too many nights, yeah, not feeling right, yeah. Too many nights, yeah, not feeling right, yeah. I can't be still inside, still inside, still inside. I can't be still inside, still inside, still inside. Too many nights, yeah, not feeling right, yeah. Too many nights, yeah, not feeling right, yeah. I can't be still inside, still inside, still inside. I can't be still inside, still inside, still inside.
All right. So that was the video. I'm just double checking here to see what's going on. I'm not seeing my stream here. So let me pop in here and make sure this is going live. Perfect. Okay, I can see this going here. Continue to drop some comments here. Some people were missing the beginning. That's perfectly okay. Feel free to jump in. We were just having some streaming issues, but I'm glad to see that we are going live here. So let's see. Awesome. I'm starting up some more streams. We want to just make sure that everything is looking good. So I'll play this video one more time while we are doing this so people can see. I'm seeing some people jumping on. I'm going to answer some questions, but I'm going to replay this for a lot of people that didn't get to see it. But I did a spec video for Schutt Sports. So went through and did this in my garage. So I'll play that one next, and then we'll answer some questions after this as well. So here's the spec video that I did for free in 48 hours or less in my garage to get their attention and show them what I could do when I wanted to land some work with them. Awesome. So just to kind of run through how all that stuff's going down. I did that video just for all the people that are just now coming on the stream, did that video, sent it to them, and they were really pumped about it. Then they ended up hiring me to do this, this paid video that was hiring talent and stuff like that. So when it came to that, it was kind of a good audition tape for me to get in front of people, get things out to them. What I ended up doing was for this paid video, finding the right place at the right time. So like I was mentioning before, it was negative 20 degrees. It was freezing cold. We could not shoot on a field because it was so cold that the cameras would literally shut down and because they couldn't work. So we had to go find an indoor turf facility, which I did, went and found one of those. Ended up hiring one of my old college friends that was retired. He used to be a football player in college in a D3 college. So hired him on to be our talent. Got this indoor facility together, and then hired a second shooter to come along with me. So put some more investment into it, bought some things, like I said, put some money down to get some talent, get some paid locations, stuff like that. But it really did pay off in terms of getting a good quality video together. So putting that together, we'll play that again just for the people that weren't here. I just want to make sure everybody could see the examples of what we're talking about. And then we'll talk about how we're leveraging this to get more relationships with fitness brands. So we'll play that one more time for everybody that wasn't here. And if you have questions, again, drop in the comments section and we will answer those at the end. So we're going to show that one more time here.
We understand what it takes to pay the price with sweat equity and pain, to take the hits, give the hits, and keep getting up. Your gear needs to work as hard as you do. So when the pressure is on, shut out the noise.
Too many nights, yeah, not feeling right, yeah. Too many nights, yeah, not feeling right, yeah. I can't be still inside, still inside, still inside. I can't be still inside, still inside, still inside. Too many nights, yeah, not feeling right, yeah. Too many nights, yeah, not feeling right, yeah. I can't be still inside, still inside, still inside. I can't be still inside, still inside, still inside.
All right. So that was the video. I am seeing here that we're having some troubles getting into all of the Facebook groups. We're just streaming, it looks like, in the freelance videographer community. So if you're in there, let us know what questions you have. Hopefully we'll get this straightened out and we can get this stream popped over into the other groups after the fact. But we'll answer all of your questions from my Facebook group, and we'll see if we can answer some of those for you as we keep going here. So talking more about this video, once I got this sent out to them, they were really happy with it. We had quite a few back and forth revisions. They wanted a certain color grade and stuff like that. So they ended up pushing this out for their F7 release. And it was a really good way to just, again, get my brand out there, get more people associated with me on the national level because they have quite a big social media following. So it just kind of positioned me as more of a fitness videographer, fitness brand promotion type person. And again, like, the one-off video from this does help lend itself to doing other stuff down the road, because then you can promote yourself. You can say, yeah, I work with, Schutt Sports and other companies like that. So doing this type of approach, I think, is really important, because a lot of people that I'll talk to are like, yeah, Ryan, like you work with brands and stuff, but like, I want to get into that, but how do I do it? And the biggest tip I have is researching your top 100 people you'd love to work with. Like, I call it my top 100. And it's basically just a list of like dream clients you'd love to work with. So for me, since I love fitness, I'm like an avid weightlifter, love sports and stuff like that. I love shooting that topic. That's what my top 100 is. It's like, I mean, obviously there's like Nike and Under Armour's on there, but like other more achievable brands for myself are on there as well, that aren't those top tier ones that have a ton of people going for them. It's people like Schutt, where if I could just get a conversation with them, I could have a really good conversation that could lead to some paid work there. So that's kind of what I go about with that. And I did see one of the comments here was, how do you find these clients? Which is a really good question. So for me, like I said, I made my top 100 list. Schutt was on that list. I went and researched the company on Google, saw they weren't doing any video. They'd be a good case for me to try and reach out to, because they're not doing video. They're a big brand. Like, they could definitely use it. Finding them was important. And then I actually use a tool called hunter.io. It's a Chrome extension that you can find email addresses for free. So that's one of the tools that I use to try and find people's emails so I can get a conversation going. But in the case of Schutt, I actually just called the company directly and asked for the marketing department, and then offered to give them all these free video assets that have all their product in them for free. So I found that being like a really good approach, because if you just cold call the company and try to sell them something on the spot, they don't know who you are. They've never met you before. It's kind of confusing and overwhelming to them. Um, that's not really a fun way to approach it. So we want to try and position yourself as being helpful. We're just giving with no expectation for something in return. That's kind of the approach we want to take with it. So to answer your question, um, finding those clients online and starting that conversation, you can either do it via email, you can do it over the phone. Another way that I've used as well is LinkedIn. LinkedIn's a great tool for it if you can find the actual person that makes those decisions. So if you can find the marketing manager for a fitness brand on LinkedIn, you can send them a DM and try and get a conversation going that way. You could also do the same thing on Instagram, but anymore, a lot of creators are using Instagram, so you have to stand out with your messaging. You can't just be like every other videographer out there, because a lot of people don't think that that's the best way to go about it. And a lot of people that run an account don't necessarily make those decisions. They might be an intern or an employee or something. So that's kind of how I go about that. Okay, we've got other questions here. How many lights did I use? My favorite to use is the Godax SL 60W, I believe it's called. That's my main key light that I use. I use some just basic newer barn doors. And for that video that I showed in the facility, I shoot on Sony mirrorless cameras, so the low light performance is pretty good. And I didn't have really any lights on. I just had the big window that was open, and that was pretty much what I used, because I wanted to make it look like the athlete was in there working like in the middle of the night or early in the morning when the lights weren't on. So that was just kind of a creative choice for me. But typically I'll do like a key light and then maybe some color gel accents for kicker lights or fill lights if I want to make it more gritty or kind of like intense if it's a sports hype sequence. So good question there. But I'll link up some of those after this stream's done. We'll drop some links in the comments so you guys can see what lights I used. Let's see here. What's a typical budget? Christopher asks. Great question. Depends on a lot of factors. If your third sports commercial, you have a lot of great stuff in your portfolio. Yep. So I would say like budget, it really just depends on what they're wanting. So for me, I am a big proponent of doing my video importance pyramid. There's what I call it. So it's the VIP. And without going into the depth of it, it's like the bottom level is anchor videos, then sales videos, social proof videos, social teaser videos for social media, and then like one-off, just little long form content stuff for YouTube. So what I always encourage my clients to do is like, yes, I shot this promotion video, and the whole purpose of that was to show the video I just showed you, that main video. But what I do is I actually deliver an asset bundle. So I'll actually send over anywhere between like 5 to 10 clips. So that if there's like really cool teaser clips, or I'll do like a director's cut, and then also like a video banner for their website or their Facebook group. So then it's giving more assets, it's giving more value. And depending on what the client wants, I can charge more for that. But for a video like this, like for a client of that size, I would say like a good budget range is probably like 2,000 to 5,000 if you're shooting by yourself. If you have more overhead or you have other things you have to rent, like cameras, or hire out other talent, it can increase the price. But I would say that's probably like a good budget range for something like this. And again, like as you get more experience, more stuff in your portfolio, like more of these brands will find you just from putting things out that look similar to what their brand is. So that's kind of what I use this a lot for my test case, is that I got a ton of behind the scenes for promotion on my website. I wanted to showcase the full behind the scenes for YouTube and for all my Facebook groups and everything. So I put a little bit more skin into the game to capture some of that, because it was important. So I would say figuring out the price range just really depends on what they're looking for. But if you can provide more value than what you charge, that will lead to more things. Because after I did the first video, they liked it. Let's do another one. We did this other one. And now we're in conversations about doing another one where I'd fly out to Indianapolis at their headquarters and shoot in their building, maybe interview their president and CEO, like do more of a video business card type of approach. Again, solving different problems for people that way. Okay, more questions here. Yes, continue to drop them. Thank you guys for hopping in here. You're starting company spec video. I'm going to read some of these questions here. Okay. Awesome. So yeah, we've got, let's see, Adam's asking about, we've shown company spec work that you've made for them, and they said thanks and taken it for the video use. That's, I mean, honestly, like I hear that quite a bit, and that's a good thing to bring up. That's why I would try to get them like on board with doing a spec video, because if you just go out and shoot a spec video and send it to somebody and they like unsolicited, you might not even get through to them, which kind of sucks because you put all the time into it and you never got them to see it. But what I would try to do is make contact before you do the spec video and say, hey, I'm a fitness videographer. I would love to shoot for your stuff. Like, I'm actually going to do a video for spec to kind of show you what I can do. No expectation, but would you be okay with that if I send it over to you and you take a look at it and at least get them to respond or have a conversation with you so you can prove that there is some interest there, and that would kind of help a little bit. The other thing is, if you're doing a spec video, try and stack the spec video up. So if you're doing one for, say, shoes, say you're doing a video for like Noble to try to get in front of Noble, the shoe brand company, maybe you shoot a spec ad of the shoes, but then also have them like wearing a cool like hat from like Melon or something like that. So you'd try and basically shoot 2 specs at once, and then you can make like a director's cut of each, and then you basically have 2 marketing assets you can put out and send to both those companies to try and improve your chances of getting in front of people with using a spec video approach. Yes, Kessler asked, what's a spec video? Spec video is basically shooting a video for free to show what you can do. So whether in my case, like Schutt sent me all the products and said, hey, like, we don't know what you can do, but here's a box of our product. Like, we'd love you to create something and send it back. That's a way to do it. Another way would be like, if you're trying to just prove your skills and sharpen the saw, so to speak, you could take the product and make your own video, and no one's paying you for it, but you're just going to add that to your portfolio so you can show what you can do. I had a buddy of mine do this for Mastercraft, the boat manufacturer company, because he wants to shoot more of that boat, lake life, lifestyle type product videography for people. So he couldn't get one on his own, but he just went out and shot a spec, and he's using that to market himself to all these brands so we can start a conversation and get the door open for people. Yep. Twain just answered, Hunter IO is the Chrome extension. Yes, that's a good one to use. That's one I would suggest you use. It's 100% for free. You do get lucky sometimes, and people have the website emails, or the emails on the website, which is great to solicit people. But I kind of go through a 5-step email breakdown that I usually send out to people, where it's like an introduction, kind of introducing myself, offering a bunch of free value, and then there's a series of follow-ups that I do to kind of try to get a conversation going, or at least get in the right email inbox of the right people here. So, yep, long videos retain attention. High quality is less. Yep, absolutely. Michael's got a good point there. Yep. So for these like main videos, like I said, I'll do a hero version, which is like a 2-minute ad or less, just to be kind of the main hero video. And then I'll make smaller spec edits, like the 30-second, the 15-second versions that they can use on social media, a vertical version for Instagram or TikTok, like wherever their audience is kind of what we want to approach it as. But it really just depends on what they're using it for. Like in Schutt's case, they were preparing for fall football season. They wanted a video that they could have their sales guys show the teams when they go and get the high school kids excited, because if the high school kids get excited, then their coach gets fired up, and then the coach kind of gets the incentive to pull the trigger and buy the helmets and the shoulder pads. So again, it's like knowing who your end audience is, how they're going to use the video. That's going to steer how long it should be, how you shoot it, kind of the intent, and then the scripting process that goes into it. So awesome. Yeah. So continue to leave your comments here. Again, if you're just seeing the replay here, we were trying to get it into all 3 groups with the freelance videographer community, content creator community, and then a how to sell video production community. And it looks like it only got into the 1. So if you're seeing the replay, I do apologize for that. We'll try and get this squared away for future live streams. But today we're talking about how to sell to fitness brands and how to get in with spec video approaches. So again, drop your comments here. Would love to see what questions you guys have about how to get work with fitness brands. Probably answer questions for a couple more minutes here if you guys have them here in the group, and then we'll close out and kind of answer more questions along the way. Yes, good stuff. So, okay, we'll keep going here, and if you have questions, drop them as we're going. But another thing here, like we said, I have a process that I follow that with my sales approach, where the 3 main platforms that I found to reach people are Google, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Those are like the 3 really good ones that I've found that I can find people really quickly. Google is actually really great for finding local businesses, I've found. So if you're looking for like local gyms, CrossFit boxes, yoga studios, whatever it is, that's a great way to do that. The next step would be like doing Instagram. So if you're trying to shoot for like social media influencers, which I've done in the past, I've shot for bodybuilders before and done their YouTube channels and Instagram and stuff like that. Instagram's a great place to get to them because that's where they're at all the time. And your Instagram is your portfolio. So it's a good way to do it that way. And then LinkedIn is kind of a secret weapon that a lot of people aren't using. I know a lot of people on this stream probably haven't even heard of LinkedIn, but it's basically a professional networking site. It's a social networking site for professionals. So a lot of times if I'm trying to solicit people that are in corporate America, like marketing teams for Schutt Sports or people like that, there's a marketing team. Almost all of them have a LinkedIn account. And a lot of places, that's the only social media account they can be on at work during their 9 to 5 is LinkedIn. So it's a great excuse to get through to people and try and help them that way. So those are the 3 ways that I do it. And I have a whole process that I have that I can't really get into today because we don't have enough time on the live stream here. But I have a whole process that I follow with how to reach out to people properly, how to get follow-ups, how to properly like get those conversations going so you're not being salesy. It's more just a organic conversation. You're offering help and offering value to them right out of the gate. And if they're appreciative of that, sometimes it starts a conversation. So awesome. How do you build a team to help you expand? Good question. I would say like before you start trying to hire a team, you first need to figure out your weak points and how you can replace yourself with certain things. So for me, as I build my company out, the first thing I'm going to probably hire out is an editor, because getting more of that, like I use 1099s now, but if I got a full-time employee in my team, that would be kind of the main thing. So then I can just shoot and hand it off to somebody that I can trust that can do it. So for you, it's like, if you love the shooting, if you love the editing, keep those things and then hand off the tasks you don't like. Like for a lot of people, it's sales. Sometimes producing can be a bear, like trying to pre-plan and script and manage the shoots. If you don't want to do those, sometimes that's a way to do it. But for me, I would say like find the 2 or 3 tasks that you're just not good at, that, if you had somebody that you could hand that off and like wipe your hands clean of it, that it would make a big impact in your business. So whether that's the actual production, the editing, social media management, the finances, for me, I hire out a CPA and a financial team to take care of that for me, because I just don't have the time to do it and manage my own books and stuff like that. So that's kind of the approach I would say is like, if you're looking to hire a team, find what you're good at and hire out the rest of it as you go and as budget allows. So, okay, great questions here, guys. I'm just going to go through here and make sure I didn't miss any of them. Okay, how to start these conversations. We talked about that. Okay. Sweet. Okay, sweet. All right, so I think that's good for now. Like I said, we're gonna go through this in more depth, probably in another live stream. I am getting messages from my team here that they're not seeing it in the other Facebook groups. So rather than stop and start over, we'll probably just do another one at some other point. But I wanted to let you guys know that I've been teaming up with the team at contentcreator.com to try and help and solve some of these problems for people, because they reached out to me earlier this year and were talking to me about, I've been doing fitness videos and all these different things, and trying to figure out really how do we help more people get into this niche, because it's such a cool niche. I mean, I love shooting sports teams, fitness brands, like all those different people are so much fun to shoot. And it's kind of a blue ocean right now in terms of a niche. So it's, I'm seeing here my team's let me know that they're trying to figure out the issue here. Okay, so we'll see. Maybe this tail end of this will end up in some of the other groups here. But really, when I was talking with these guys about how can we help people more and figure this stuff out, that's really when we figured out that, hey, we could put together a whole program that's going to teach people exactly how to do this. And we kind of walk people through how to sell the videos, how to run your sales meetings, how to shoot really high engaging fitness edits, how to edit them, how to market yourself, how to build your website, how to do all the different stuff that I've been doing, because I just love sharing as much information as I can with it. So we've been hard at work the last couple of months building out a whole program. And it's actually called Figure Fitness Filmmaker. So we started this thing up. We're currently in the pre-launch phase right now. And this is actually the very last day for the early investor sale that we have going on. So we're completely building it out. And it's kind of been a really fun and engaging process to get engaged with the group, figure out what the group's wanting to do with it, and kind of build a program for people. So we have about 30 lessons that are live in there now. And like I said, we're doing an early investor sale, which ends today. So if you're interested in learning more about that program and what we're doing with that and seeing if it's a good fit for you and trying to get into fitness videos and help people with that, the whole program is designed to get you to a 6-figure fitness filmmaking business in about 90 days. So it's kind of a fast track. There's a checklist. We have a bunch of videos that teach you exactly how to do it, how to get in and find brands, find local gyms, and find those people. So again, if you're interested, we'll put a link here. Once this stream's down, we'll try and pop it in here, and we'll get things figured out with that. But if you have any more questions, feel free to drop them here. We'll be engaging with this post probably in the next 24 hours, answering more questions for you. And that, again, that early investor sale will be done at midnight tonight. So if you're interested in getting in, I think it's 90% off right now for the next probably 12 hours or so. And then after that, we're going to close it down. We're going to continue to build out the course, and then we'll officially launch it with everything in there that needs to be done. So again, thanks so much for popping on here with me, guys. Ask any more questions that you have here. Kessler, we'll make sure that we put the link in there after this shuts down. And I might actually do this live stream right after this in the other group. So if you see me come on again, this might happen because I am seeing that they found the problem here. So we might do another live stream just to help those guys out, because I want to help as many people figure out how to get in with these big brands as we can. So I'm going to shut down the stream now. If you guys have questions, leave them in the comments and we'll engage there. So my name is Ryan Snod. It rhymes with odd, and I'm out. Peace.